Okay, in this video, this is John Marsh here. In this video, I'd like to go over the problems that were on the midterm. And the first problem that was on the midterm was problem number 8. It says consider the network 10.10.10.0/23. How many IP addresses does this network contain? Write down the first, last, and broadcast address of this network. And then do the same thing essentially. Write down the 8 subnet IDs if we divide this network up into 8 different subnets. Okay, so let's do this problem, and let's start with we're going to consider 10.10.10.0/23 first. Okay, this is a network, and so in this network we have our IP addresses. This network isn't subnetted at all. It doesn't say anything about that. So we have N and H. We don't have any S in between. In general, we're going to start with some number of bits in our IP address, which is 32 bits wide, some number in the network, some number in the subnet, and some number of host bits. Okay, but in this case, it just says let's start with this network. Okay, so we have N is equal to 23, and H is equal to 32 minus 23, or 9. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and figure out how many nodes or how many IP addresses are in this network, and we're going to write down the first, last, and broadcast. Okay, so with H equal to 9, we have 2 to the H, which is 2 to the 9th, which is 512 IP addresses in that network. Okay, now we're going to write down the first, last, and the broadcast address for that network. And this is tricky, a little bit tricky anyway, because H is not a multiple of 8. If H is a multiple of 8, for example, if H is 8, then we have a class C network, and it's very familiar to us. Here we have H equals 9, and so we have our network 10.10.10.0 in dotted decimal notation, but I'm going to go ahead and write the decimal or the binary form of the number 10, which is 8 plus 2, so it's a 0, 1, 0, 1, and then 4 zeros. And then the 0 is 4 zeros and 4 zeros again. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 8. There's a 1 in the 2's place and the 8's place there. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, here is the dividing line between the network part of the IP address and the host part of the IP address. And you can see we've got 9 bits here. And these 9 bits are going to range from, let's see, I need 4 of them here, don't I? 4 and 4 makes 8 bits. Okay, so they're going to range all the way up to 255 here, but then they're going to go to this IP address, and then finally dot 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 until they're all 1s. Okay, so this is that range of IPs that are appearing in this /23 network. Okay, and what you should realize then is that, well, the network part stays the same, and then this, let's see, I'll make this very colorful here. This third octet now is changing as we go from the first 256 addresses in that network, or IPs, to the second 256 IPs. Okay, and that third octet is a 10 here, and that third octet is an 11 here. Now we have a 1 plus a 2 plus an 8. Okay, and so the range of IP addresses, so the subnet ID is this first one. So the ID of the subnet really is 10.10.10.0/23, and then the first IP address is 10.10.10.1/2023. Okay, and that's the first one, the next one up. And then the last is 10.10.11.254. I guess I don't need to put the slash, I guess I can put the /23 on, it doesn't matter. .11.255 is the broadcast. Okay, so those are the network ID, first, last, and broadcast IP addresses for this /23 network. Okay, I'll do part B in the next video.